Villages, communities, people. Everywhere things are different. Everywhere different situations and different problems in daily life. Between North and South Hungary, the distance can be up to 500 kilometers. But you can find that people are trying to live better, more beautifully, and with dignity. They want to study, work, and live happily. Hungary is now a part of the European Union. But many of the regions are far from Europe, not only in distance, but also in how modern they are. Even far from the regional capitals as well. There are many solutions for being able to reduce this distance, so that every day can be sunnier. We will just show you one of these solutions for improving the quality of life. Just a few places, a few faces, a few situations from a new professional perspective. The majority of Hungarians are far from the digital and virtual reality. The knowledge, desire, time, and possibility to study are missing. But more than that, help is missing. Patient direction. But here, the Information Society mentor can help. Places far from the world, everyone's values should be able to be found and respected in this constricting and globalizing world. The smallest village to the most hidden street. Everywhere in Hungary, so that it can climb from the lows to the heights. It was a couple of years ago, I read an article about Auntie Piroshka starting to use the internet. It was also written about her. She was 80 years old. I found it interesting, so I looked into who she was and where she lived. I discovered that she lived in a nursing home in Komárom. I called her there and visited her, and she had gotten a hold of a junky computer and set up the internet. And from that moment on, we became partners so that she could delve deeper. She became enthusiastic, asking me about the computer, how she could continue to learn. And a relationship developed that we only realized later was a mentor-student relationship. And this gave me the idea to think deeply about others in the same situation who don't have helpers and this kind of support. And this activity could be established through, the already widely used Telehaz network, using their already existent methodologies in an organized way, of course, with regular methods for all those who are in need of personal help. From this grew the profession. I think it can be called a profession, which is Information Society Mentor. The most important part of this is how the computer, internet, or as they say, communication devices can help with a variety of problematic situations in life. Equal Program is an innovative EU social program co-financed by the Hungarian government. It is directed at returning to the workforce disadvantaged groups, often between 45 and 50 years old, who are on long-term unemployment and have been forced from the labor force. I'm Astikov Aniko, 47-year-old teacher, husband, artist-painter who does art restoration. We have an amazing child named Vazul. We live in the countryside in Pázmánd, a pleasant little village. Currently, I am working as a teacher in Agarna. I really enjoy my schoolwork, and in addition to that, I do my mentor work. This pretty much fills up my life. With our house, there's a big 2,000 square meter garden with some plants and crops from which we try to produce for our needs. Next to my teaching and mentor work, I don't have too much free time, but I try to spend time with my family. My husband has a motorbike, and he rides it too, of course, and we often go to motorbike events and meetings. That's a good outing, I think. An acquaintance told me about a further learning possibility, a so-called Equal project in which Information Society mentors are trained. I had no idea what an Information Society mentor was. The word mentor is close to teacher, so I decided to give it a try. This Information Society mentor training, it really changed my life. During this training, I gathered technical knowledge. There were many kinds of practice trainings: distance education tutor, small business systems manager, adult education consultant, innovator designer, graphics editor, manager assistant, and administrator for public access points such as telehaz. We received training in all of these. But this isn't the strength of the program, but rather the strength is in the mentality that is the spirit of the program. Actually, what we learned is that the computer is not an enemy to be hated. That's what it had been for me. But rather it is a great assistance, especially in making our lives much easier, more productive, and of course, faster. This Equal project also included a year's practice work, which was after the training. I was very lucky, and in an amazing way, I got to work with Matyás Gáspár. He shared with me all his experience, and the nice thing was he let me get involved with all the work he did, not just a part of it. In truth, I have to say, it is because of him that I really became a true IT mentor. Okay, let's look at this resume. It's very important in the cover letter that if you're not trained in a field, that you emphasize that this is not a problem, and you can gladly learn new things quickly. Oh, thank you so much for your advice. Now, we need a good picture. We'll paste it in here. You do it. Here's where the picture will be. Paste. That's nice. Oh, what a good picture. Here, in this one, you're a little bit mischievous. That can go in your resume, no problem. Actually, that might be good for that kind of work. Here's that. That's perfect, you know. Absolutely perfect. Both of them are you. You can see your personality in those. To be an Information Society mentor is not the kind of activity which can be measured on a test, which problem simply needs to be filled out. Information Society mentor is rather a mentality. The way I see it, an Information Society mentor can help anyone, and I believe I do that in my everyday life. I have a lot of friends. They are really working hard. Really trying to improve their lives every day. Just as the Equal Project and those mentors who did it improved a difficult situation in my life, I do this too, and with all my skills, of course including my IT knowledge. I am anxious to do something to help these disadvantaged, who have no work, or those who are otherwise disadvantaged, to be able to achieve change in their lives. But I won't change them. I can only teach them, or awaken in them this feeling that they're capable of changing their lives by themselves. A new profession or new social profession has been born, in which personal help is given, working through the information and communication field. I'm Mészáros Péter, 59-year-old teacher. In my 59 years' experience, I've worked in many places and gone through many changes. Now, 3 years ago, I came to Kun St. Miklos, again, in a school. I teach. I have 3 grown children, in college or who have been working for a while. My son Gabor has given me a wonderful grandson. My daughter Dori has given me 2 children. Victoria and Shanika are their names. And my youngest son is now finishing with his higher education. 3 years ago, we came to Kunszent Miklós, and we've now been able to settle here. Last year, we bought this small place in Szabadszállás. I live here with my wife. In March, I read in a newspaper that at some point an Information Society mentor training will commence. Based on the write-up, I considered it and thought, with that training, I'd be able to stand on my own 2 feet again. That would have been great. I didn't know exactly what this thing was. But I knew from the news and from this article that this was something that should really work for me. For months after I sent in the interest form, I didn't know anything, but I guess it must have been sometime around October. They sent me a letter telling me to send in the registration form and to fill out the questionnaire. I thought to myself, ooh, something's going to come of this. Later, after I sent this in, came the second step. I had to complete a difficult test. I must have passed it, as they called me in for an interview. Well, I can tell you I passed the interview as well. And that meant, Friday, after the interview, that if I could, I'd be able to go to Ghent for a team-building session on Monday. On Saturday, I got the call to get ready and pack, because I needed to go to Ghent. The training was a big deal. For one thing, from a psychological standpoint, to go from really down in the dumps to that there's more and one shouldn't give up, that's great. And I was able to learn such material that was modern, new. It was really nice because it allowed me to reconnect to the way people are doing things now. It was useful information, really, and the kind of stuff that I'd be able to use in the modern world, today, for example. My main activity as an Information Society mentor is part of the Telehaz project, which in this case is also a Hungary point. Many clients come in for help to find something on the computer. Oftentimes, they have no idea what to do. This is frequent. For example, more and more things can be taken care of through eHungary client server. And it is really too bad this isn't widely known among the majority of the population. Of course, business people or people who have dealt with this, no one understands this. But many don't, and they frequently come here. How can they register? How can they take care of things through the client server? Or at least just learn how to start it up. I would say this happens at least 2 or 3 times per week. Good afternoon. How can I help you? I need to register to the client server, and I don't know how. No problem. Okay. www.magyarország.hu. As usual. The first thing that we have to do is register. And then later, we'll be able to continue our work. There's a temporary registration with the given password. This can be used for 1 month, then you need to go to the public registrar's office to get a new password. This new password should be good for 5 years. Can I help you with anything else? Oh, thanks for your help. I was glad to be of help. This program has basically changed my life in that I have to admit, as I've already said, when I was teaching at my last job, I saw in myself that I was really, well, I was a burnt-out educator. I mean, I did my job, I knew what to do every day, I filled the registry book, 65th hour, great. 5th graders need to learn this. In other words, I wasn't going forward. I knew it. It was enough what I was doing. The desire to improve was gone. And well, to be honest, this program brought great changes in that area. And I saw at my age, I can still learn. As a matter of fact, the truth is, we all need to continue learning. Fazekas Szűcs Judit, 50 years old. Now, at this moment, I am happy. My life has been filled with setbacks. From the time I was a baby, my grandmother brought me up in her house, where we learned 2 languages at the same time, Tót and Hungarian. That proved useful later in life. It was a Slavic language, so learning Russian in high school wasn't a problem. Every spring, summer, and winter breaks started us without even picking up our report cards from school. That's my little brother and I. And we went home, and that was really home, to my grandmother's house in Szarvas. I believe that throughout my life, I've been an information society mentor. The coursework, which I have had to look over and learn, just reinforced this yes. In my world, there was never a good child, a Roma child, or even a left-out person. Everybody needed help. And to me, this is really what mentor meant. The information society mentor is just with the introduction of the computer and this information technology. And I really believe that this technology is necessary in today's world. Children suck this up today like mother's milk. But for my generation, and even those who are older or who are willing to come in, sit down and ask, they really do receive help and they go away satisfied. It's a pleasure to see. I can't turn this on. I'm not touching that. Then, 2 or 3 hours later, they started up, the computer I mean, as if it were nothing. Could be Word or anything on the internet. Well, not quite anything. After all, it's not so easy to teach somebody who's 70 or 80 years old, or maybe somebody who's even in their upper 60s. First, they're terrified of the computer. They've seen monitors only as TV, and it's a great feeling for me to teach them that there's more. I myself was terrified when they told me to turn on the machine. I didn't know what button did what'll happen when it turns on. But we had a great mentor who helped us with these really paralyzing problems. We had to work it through for ourselves. Positions were not served up on a platter. For months, I worked on the internet. Where's a position or what job positions there were. It wasn't important for me where I would end up in the country. It was important that I finally could have a job. It could be Telehaz or eHungary. It could be anything. Just the most important was that I could reintegrate into our society. I felt left out. It was horrible for me to go through. By the end of the project, we had trained 50 more Information Society mentors. This showed us that within 2 months, professional Information Society mentors could be trained. And right away, they started their professions. And they taught hundreds, really hundreds, the basics for using not just the internet, but also the basics for using the computers. I'm Nemes Keri Klara, 44 years old. I currently live in Budapest. I have 2 children, 12 and 14. I run an internet cafe and a teleház as a small business. I like to travel, bicycle, and explore nature. I've traveled the world. 2 years ago I lived in Spain, and I like to get to know other people's, and of course their cultures. For 3.5 years, I've run the internet cafe at the base of Gellert Hill in the 11th district. And for 1.5 years, it has served as the 11th district in Gellert Hill Teleház network. From the Teleház network, I got information about the Information Society mentor training, which I myself completed with 2 other mentors. In this teleház, we have run courses for about 50 students. Many of them are returning students, and with my help they continue internet work, word processing, and so on. The amazing thing is they can even, at least many of them, handle spreadsheets. What's up? My problem is I got a letter, and it shows up in Word, and I should have attached it as an attachment. But the only thing I did, I copied it to the email. See, you copy it to a text, but what's his name sent on Norby. I should have sent him the file as an attachment instead. Ah, I understand. I highlighted the whole letter and transferred it to the email. Look here, I'll show you how to do it as an attachment. There was a need from the local residents, mainly seniors, for the internet and training for mentors. So in the following months, the local government, together with the teleház, decided that they would allow the district seniors to receive training from the mentors. But not just that, they would receive free internet access as well. The majority for both the individual and group courses are retired, and for whom the textbook material is not appropriate to be able to master the internet, or to be able to use the computer without assistance. For the courses, therefore, we create our own material. This material we create is based on our own experiences. Let me show you how to scroll down. Here's the Start menu, and go to the Control panel. Okay. You can do this at home if you want. Click on it slowly to slow down the speed. I also create material that is for them in a form in which I can direct them to put up their own material, or pictures, or articles. This is according to their own interests, as well as according to their own background. In the near future, NGOs dealing with information technology and technical NGOs will have to face a special task, as training for knowledge and programming in the digital world needs solution for competitiveness sake. This was important in the past, but if we don't move forward, there could be greater problems, and because of this, it was decided to expand the use of the internet. On October 6, 2008, the Hungarian parliament reached a decision that they need to support the start of e-inclusive initiatives. In other words, help needs to be offered to those who are falling behind in the modernizing world. Digital equality is equated with competence in digital forms, and those who are still not competent in the use of these could be at any point in the country. Information Society Mentor is help for those who desire. Unfortunately, there's still plenty of work to be done in Hungary. The expansion of different elements of society, reaching out to each other, gives hope that with solidarity, community building, and a helpful teacher, a more beautiful, richer life can be achieved.